don't apologize for who you are. Okay, be who you are. Because when they sense that you're apologizing, it makes it hard to get through to them in ways you want to get through to them, and they'll use it. Okay, and for example, they might say you're racist because you're white, but my black, yeah, okay, but don't. The question I said to my colleagues when they told me black students were saying that to them, I was like, well, the question is, are you? In other words, if people say you're a book, do you get upset? No, because you're not a book, right? So the question, are you upset about the question? You know, why? What's the source of your response to that? And also I point out to them that my black students say, you're hard on us because we're black. And I say, well, I'm hard on everybody. And you might be right to a certain degree, because I see reflections of me when I look at you. So I think I'm pretty equal in my expectations of everybody. So I'm saying this to say, they'll use what they can to get to do what they want, but they expect you to have boundaries. They expect you as an adult to set boundaries, not to say, well, they have a bad day. We all have a bad day, but that doesn't mean you get to be rude to people. You know, I don't like you. Okay, I'm not asking you to marry the person. I'm just asking you to work with the person in the group. You know, so this whole thing about social norms and how to be in a social context. I think if I don't like you, then that means I can dismiss you. No, you still have to do what you need to do. You know, so, and my students in Hopkins, they said to me one day, well, should we not have money? Something like that. And I said, no, sweetheart, there's not a problem with money, but I want you to realize that's not the world. What you have is not the world, you know. And that's all I'm saying. Appreciate what you have and know that you're fortunate, but I don't want you to ever feel guilty for having money, because I have some white friends who have money, and that's one of the things they've had to work against, feeling guilty. So wherever you are, that's what I'm saying. Know your students is not always a negative thing that you have to address. I mean, you could be in a very privileged environment, which Hopkins, I would say, in 1970 was. I don't know what it is now. But, so again, I met them where they were at and addressed the things that were in their lives and in their world.
I would just say, be who you are, be yourself, and build on that. And recognize that we all are. And if we can begin to instill in young people that their being will let them do, and their doing will let them have, as opposed to where we live today that says I've got to have so I can do and therefore be. We can get back to just being. And for me, please drop the somebody. I am somebody. Implies there's a nobody out there. Who's that nobody? And so we're still dealing with that otherness, the otherization of the objectivization. But to deal with the I am, that was the importance of the Black Power movement. It says, I'm black and I'm proud. There was no other. Of course it had to be destroyed. This country is based on otherization and objectification. That's one of the things we have to guard ourselves against, is looking at how we otherize and objectify. And let it become conscious so we can begin to let that wall down.
I would just like to say I'm privileged to have been on this panel with your esteemed members and to witness your presence today and participate in the class. It kind of reminds me in your comments about silent language that people may not know the communication. That's scary to me about myself. I've been studying Equus, which was written by Monty Roberts, a book called The Whispers. And there is an awful lot to that whole notion that you can go through life and not know what you're communicating, thinking you communicate something that you aren't. I say it's a privilege, and good luck in your endeavors.
I guess I would say this to you, and I hopefully we'll have some other times to talk. Honor your elders. Honor the wisdom of other teachers. Teaching is an art and it's a craft. There's certain things you cannot learn in school. You can only learn through experience. And you only learn from others. See yourself as an apprentice. Honor yourself professionally as you begin, but recognize you're on a journey. You don't have to know. Eleanor Duckworth, find that woman. Eleanor Duckworth, who wrote The Habit of Wonderful Ideas. She has a chapter in her book called The Virtue of Not Knowing. To honor the fact that you don't know everything, and that it's okay, and that you learn from other teachers. And I think that will suit you very, very well. So it's a great honor to be here with these elders. But I really think that's what you could do. Don't think of this as something separate from the world or separate from other teachers.
So the revolution will not be televised.
Scott.
The revolution will not be televised because it's about the evolution of our minds, the vast interior landscape of who we are. And it's with that I give back.
Thank you. So it's been a long, rich day, so I won't keep it much longer. I just want to say I'm really moved to be in the presence of all this wisdom. Whether you come from near or far, you really brought a huge amount of experience and insight to this conversation. I really appreciate every one of you who's participated today. And I hope you'll stay just for a few minutes so we can thank you more individually. And as Ethan said, there'll be video on our website, and if you want to be on our mailing list or get information about upcoming events, please feel free to check there. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.